All right. 1 second. Let me get everything set up. Sorry, I got started a little late. And then my computer decided to like repair a drive while like as soon as I started my computer, which is annoying because like probably should have done that before, like whenever I shut it off last time, but it decided not to. But you know what? We're okay. We're big happy boys. Ooh. Let me rest up. Ooh, please don't reveal anything. I hope I don't reveal anything. Oh no. Ooh, I'm gonna have to get close. Okay. I had 2 coffees, so I really don't want to do another one. So I think I'm gonna just pray that I don't need one time around. Hang on. You pop? Don't pop. Don't make a sound. Okay. I have to adjust the camera. Wait. Lock chair. So I don't lean back. Oh, maybe I should put on my headphones so I can actually hear what audio is playing. Does anybody turn off their audio when they're speaking? Like I can't hear myself and talk at the same time. But I think some people do in order to like make sure their audio levels are good. But I can't do that. I'm literally just listening to the music. That way I can tell like if a boring song is playing or if a song that's too active is playing. Oh, let me fix the camera for a bit. Wait. All right, first we're gonna turn up the exposure. Ooh, too much, just one. Bring up the brightness a bit. Come on. Bit. Make the contrast bigger. Bring up the saturation so I'm not a zombie. Hang on. Let me get a sense of how like strong it is. It's about right. And then the white balance. I have like an orange light next to me, so it should be like mostly not too warm. Somewhere around there. Okay. I think we're good on that. Let me just sit and think for a second. Music's playing. I can see it playing. My voice is good. Camera's set. Stream is on. Is it recording? Yeah, we're recording. Okay. Let's sit. But yeah. I need to look into why my computer keeps repairing the drive. It does it like once every other week. And like random files will just disappear. And it's pretty frustrating. I'm not like insanely upset about it because it's like one file out of like a million. And I do back up like some of the important stuff, like my art pieces. I do back those up on another drive. But it's just like, hey, I feel like I shouldn't have a leaky drive. That's just not good. Bad. All right. Where's my thing? Here. Okay. So, I have named all my files. I still haven't made a notes tab, so let me go ahead and do that. Let's see. Let's just grab this. I like this blue color. It's a very like calming color to me. I'm gonna steal this orange color, and this is gonna be the text layer. Do simple enough. A little underline. Okay, first box. We're gonna finish the flats. And next, we're gonna do some rendering for the shadows. I found out that a lot of people call it rendering. A lot of 2D artists even call it rendering. I just use it because the words sound cool, and it does technically make sense. Rendering is usually the part where you make 2D into like pseudo 3D. Most of the time it's used in actual like 3D work, like video game models. But like I've heard plenty of like 2D artists just use it because part of the thing about art is that you're making an illusion that the 2D piece almost looks real or looks like a 3D object. Maybe not real, but you know, like an object that's being hit with the light and is casting shadows. You know, maybe it's cartoony, but it's still like a solid form instead of just a shape. And then let's see, lighting I guess would be last. Just some like final touches with like if I want like a cast light, if I just want to bathe them in like orange light, you know, we'll see. Then it's final. We'll just leave a little box for final touches. I don't think there's anything too special I want to do. I think mainly with this piece, I just want to see how I would do with more of a focused image of like a face rather than my usual entire body, big poses, and then like background work. Like I just want this to be simple. What if I just do the character? Don't worry too much about the background. I still got a little bit too distracted because I couldn't resist drawing the body. I still kind of got a little wacky pose, but it's okay. It's okay. Ooh, I'm very sleepy. It was a mistake not getting coffee. This ring tight. Okay. So yeah, that's gonna be the notes group. Just naming the layers real quick. Notes, background, and we got notes text. Nope, that's not it. There we go. All right, so we're gonna finish the flats, then we're gonna move on to rendering. I'm probably gonna start with the hair and maybe the shirt, the jacket, because those are two that I'm kind of excited to work on. Just turn off the notes. So let's go ahead and get the shoe. I think just down here, just over the skin would be right. Oop. And then I want it to be like a neutral color, like a blue, but not like an off-white blue. Sorry, an off-white that's more on the blue side, kind of like this color. Maybe a more filling brush. What? Oh, has something happened? What? Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, yeah. It's because the jacket layer is on top of the shoe layer. So if I fill it in, the jacket layer is going to catch it. I probably shouldn't have chosen a color that's almost exactly like the background color. Let me turn off the background for a second. No, actually it looks like I stayed inside the lines. Oh, it's because I'm, that's right, I'm using the base layer, so it's just working properly. If I turn that off. Oops, that's... Oh yeah, okay, yeah, it's a mess without that. Yeah, we don't have to worry about it. And there's only one shoe. How much better can it get? All right, we're gonna group that. That way we can split this shoe into different sections. Nope, you go back into the group. Oh, it's locked. Oops. And then this is gonna be the black part of the shoe, the panda shoe. And let's choose like an almost black color, like maybe like the navy. It's more of a green. Do I still have the reference for the shoes? I do not. Okay. I'm wondering what the soles look like, if they're just white or if they're tan. I want it to be tan just so it has a little bit more color, but I don't think that's actually how they look. I think they're just black and white and that's it. Like the soles, I think, are just white. Maybe underneath, like the grips of the shoe are different color. Okay, never mind. Okay, so the soles are white, but like the very, very bottoms are actually black, not tan. And it does peek through a little bit on the soles, but maybe I think the front part would show it a bit, like a little bit right here. Try to get like a little clip. Okay, maybe a little bit over here too. Oh yeah, definitely the little swoosh. And what about the like tongue? Why are they red? Are they supposed to be red? Why are some of them red and then some of them black? These are like 2021. Okay, maybe that's what it has to do, the year. Just, you know what? I don't care. I don't feel like looking it up. I'm just gonna say they're black because I said so. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to figure out what parts are black and white. Those aren't what I'm looking for. No, it's just completely white on the tongue. It's just like the text here is dark. Then like the edge right here is also dark. And I think the interiors are also dark. Yeah. Then the laces. And I'm just gonna rough in the lace. Just follow the lines that I already got. Ah, did not mean to move the camera like that. And sorry, 1 second. I just want to also maybe get in the like the edges of this. Maybe make it just a bit smaller, like that. There we go. One of those details that no one will notice but me. Perfect, just how I like. My eyes are getting dry. I got the fan directly on me. Okay, anything else need flooding? No, I think that's good. All right, so I did want to edit the jacket a bit. Oy. Please tell me I kept the jacket later because I don't want to have to look for that again. Smoke, notes, jacket. There we go. So before I do that, let me actually change the shoe a bit. Nope, that's not it. I can use that, but I don't want to use that. Filter, just HV, it's the last one. So here, let me change the brightness just a smidge, a smooch, a smudge. Something a little bit brighter so then we can get a little bit more detail. Or whenever I get to the shadowing phase, there's a little bit more to play with besides it's like just really damn down color. Oh, well, not damn. You don't need a color that much. Why is it like just that? Like it's either all color or no color at all. Just a little bit of warmth, that's all I'm asking. Maybe a little bit more green, maybe a little bit more purple. Slightly on the greener side. Maybe a little moodier. Just the right little smooch. Just a little smooch. Yeah, that looks good. I'm good with that. Barely a noticeable change, but I'm good with that. Okay, I'm not good with that. I admit it. I'm picky. Let me look up the tree. Give them like a lot brighter, like a more neutral color just for the start. A little bit more saturated. And then from here, we can add more black to like push away some of that color. Because they are black. What are they called? Nike high tops or something like Nike Dunks. There's like a code for them. DD1869. Anyways. But yeah. Those are those. Oh god, I'm gonna be yawning this entire stream. I'm sorry. I really don't want to, but alas, it is what it is. All right, now I'm happy with that. Where's the jacket? Okay, so the jacket base color is this blue color. So I wanted to change the shade to match the jacket a little bit more. I think I'm gonna do almost the exact same thing. So let's just V adjustment. Gonna lighten it just a bit. Maybe saturate it just a bit more. Okay. And then we put on all the other color on top. Bah. So it's hidden in the back, but it's a little bit more light of color. Now that being said, bah, I'm gonna delete it. And we're gonna redo it. Because I didn't like it. I was trying to find a good brush for it, but I think I'm just gonna have to like rough up the texture myself. So first, let's just get a base coat. To show what the color is on the inside. It looks like it's the same exact color and texture on the inside of the jacket. With exception to like the very thick band on the hood of the darker color. What? Why did I do that? On top of that, we're gonna go. What is that patch? The patch is a darker color, so we're just gonna absorb this real quick. Put it back. There we go. Then maybe for the thread for the little symbol and everything, I'm gonna bring it back. But just need to get that base tone down. That's supposed to be an eraser. I didn't post anything this week. I almost have something ready. It's the last drawing I have in my my marker sketchbook. I'm gonna try seeing how it goes. Doing watercolor sketching. So I've like a couple, like almost half a year ago, I bought a bunch of stuff for travel watercolors, so I could sketch in a book. Watercolors, you know, like they're like little watercolor pen brushes, so you can refill them. I thought about like a setup of how to do it, and it's pretty much ready. Let me show off my little watercolor tin because I'm really proud of my little watercolor tin. If I can find. Oh, it's right here. So yeah, hold on, let me show you this. Let me make sure I got it on camera. So here's my little watercolor tin. Tiny little thing. It opens up. Ah, look at all those watercolors. I don't know if the camera's gonna focus on it, but yeah. Got a whole bunch of colors, like 3 different versions of white, even a white gouache. But yeah, I'm gonna be using these. I started out mostly a watercolor artist. So hold on, let me dial it back. So I think in high school, whenever I got like really serious about art, I hated watercolor, and like had a meltdown the first time I tried to make an art piece using it. But after like high school, I think like maybe during the 12th grade, but maybe a little bit after during college, I started getting into watercolors on my own because I found out about a technique that a lot of comic book artists use, which is just like straight inks and watercolor. Like it's a very like simple old school art style for comic book artists. Like, and I'm talking old school as in like the 60s, 20s, stuff like that. And I noticed that some of the books in libraries, like about Greek mythology, they were doing that because it was very like it's a very simple art style. So I started doing that for a while, and I quite liked it. I'm not exactly sure why, because like I said, like I hated it a lot when I was in high school, but I decided to do it anyway. So yeah, I'm excited to get back into that. Let me do this way too. I'm gonna do yet another layer. A group within a group. Make it a pass through. You're not a pass through. This is gonna be like my off coloring. So if I've explained this before, but the way I use the word off color is that like this is off white, but the way that I use off coloring is like it's a specific color, but depending on the color, it has like a range within that shade. So black is kind of prismatic, where it's like depending on how the light hits black, it can be blue, it can be red, it can be green, it can have like rainbowish colors. But it still will read to the eye as black depending on how the shadows hit it. And that's what I call off shading, where like I intentionally make it a bunch of colors just to have a little bit more visual variety. Because sometimes I'll have like a white, but there's a little bit of blue here, a little bit of yellow here. Almost like a pearlescent look, like a very shiny look, like it's reflecting colors. One second. But we'll see how this. I mean, I know how it went last time. I actually liked it, but I'm thinking just red, green, and blue, like a very soft pastel color. But I'm trying to look for them right now. Yeah, this is like a very warm color. It's not really a logic to it. Maybe somebody who's like smarter than me can make like a logic to it, like can use it very intelligently. But I just like kind of like slapping the colors everywhere to see how they look. Just seeing how they read to my eye. So even though like it'll read as like a very like still this like manila color, like you know those folders, because I'm adding a little bit of variety to it, it's a little bit more interesting. At least to me, I'm making this all up as I go, but I like the way that it looks on certain parts of my drawing. It makes it like a little bit less flat. And then I guess to make it even easier, we can just make this an erase layer. All right, and then we're just gonna take out some chunks. Very harsh. Come on, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it. Like I need just like the exact texture, or else like I'm not gonna be happy. It's too round. Like a rough texture, but it's not like too rough. Like it's just like the right amount of roughness. Kind of like this. No, it's not right. It's not right. I'm gonna leave that because I do like that. That's confusing. This isn't that bad. What is this one? Paint chips. Oh, this might be actually like perfect. Because I think that's actually like the look it goes. I might do this one specific, like the very no, it's gonna be like insanely long. What are you? Fire. Okay. Fancy texture. I like that. I'm not gonna use it, but it's neat. This one kind of feels right, actually. I'm gonna do just like a little like blasting of this real quick to get it like everywhere. Then I think I'm also gonna like manipulate it a bit, like to make it rounder on some places. You'll see what I mean. Oh, I should have done it a little bit more. Come. I gotta find it again. There it is. Whoa, 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 whoa. That was a bad idea. Let's go back to the default size. These drew is before I did this all on one layer, so I couldn't manipulate it and fine tune it like I wanted, like I'm going to try to do. So let's see, push this a little bit flatter. Just a little bit of manipulating. We do a little mass manipulation here. I'm gonna erase this part here. Do I still have my eraser? No. Does this do anything? Oh, this is weird. This is very weird. It's effective, but that was weird. Okay. Just a little bit more on this. No. Fill up these sections because I think I saw like the strokes that I did, which I kind of want to hide. Okay, and then I think from there we're gonna like make like more specific areas. Maybe what would good to that? Maybe this. You know, this actually ain't that bad for if I like expand it. See if I can make like more specific areas of where it's like messed up or where it's scuffed up. How's that looking? I don't know if I like it, but we're gonna work it through. Do I have like an easy line brush, like a dash brush? And some chain brushes. Are these bullets? They are. Neat. If they were smudgier. weird that I wish the tool actually was kind of worse. How about you? No, this is 2. Maybe if I manipulate this brush a bit. So what if it has like more spacing? And then can I make it like blotchier? Let's try that. The spacing's too much. Just a little bit more close. Like something like that. By a little, I mean like almost half. Yeah, actually that works really well. Maybe then make it just like a little bit more, some here, some there. Just try to follow along. Then we're gonna try to like go back and put some sections back in, because this is like a little bit too perfect. So let's see if we can get it just right. Then I'm also gonna do some on the collar, the cuff. I don't know what to call this area. Okay, and then we're gonna dial it back by adding some back in. Maybe with this brush as an eraser. Actually, no, I like that section. Maybe here. This is a little blotchier, a little rougher here. That section. Okay, let me. Okay, good. I still have the brush. Add some to like these sections because it looks like the little. I don't even know what to call these lines. I don't know what to call them, but like they follow along almost like every single sewn mark. Stitching. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Like almost every bit of stitching has that. Specifically on these parts of the pocket. Make it smaller. A little too small. I think that's good. Same here. Kind of reminds me of maybe a ravioli. Maybe because my brain's broken. maybe that middle pocket doesn't really need it. Then the bottom rim of the jacket needs it. I think that might be it. Okay. Then we're gonna do the same thing where we kind of just roughen back some of the color. Make it a little bit less consistent. I think that one's good. I did it very lightly there. And then maybe just on this side. Then do the same thing, make it a little less consistent. Okay. And then I'm gonna go right back to the pen and then just try to add some more specific sections, some more like inconsistent scratches here and there. Okay. I think we might be good on scratch now. Or like they were like almost like I'm about to call. About to call. Okay. Nice. Just playing around with like the levels. Trying to figure out how noticeable do I want these aspects to be. And then that'll get rendering to like really bring out like the how dark the things are. God. Oops, I just realized what I was doing. I think I'm gonna go with a different color for that. I think I'm gonna go with like more of a goldish color. Not gold, but like a nice, softly reflective thread. Something brighter than that. A little bit more yellow, not too bright though. Yeah, this one. Nice. Just a little touch. Just a little dusting. I also just noticed that this section should be filled in. Okay. Turn it down one. 1 second. I have a candy here and it just looks too good for me not to grab one. It's a little moose cake. This isn't a mukbang, but I just can't resist. They're just like sitting here looking at me. Give me some eyes. Mm-hmm. Could definitely taste the raspberry. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's definitely gonna hold me over for a while. Alright, think we're good on the jack. Anything else needs to get flattened? What is that? 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 What is this? I think it's from the picture. Let me see if I can erase. I'm hoping it's just a picture and it's gonna be easy to clean up. Let me reset the brush. Reset. Everybody go back to square one. Okay. Okay. Perfect. You can turn off the reference. Bye. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it as far as the flats go. There's no details that I can think of at the moment. Okay. One thing. Yeah, I don't care if it's just one. tiniest of details. But alas, felt necessary. Okay. So I think we can move on to the more complex rendering. So let me first take off this blush. We're definitely gonna do blush, but I just don't think we need it for now. I want to focus on everything else. In this shirt text. Wish I wasn't so sleepy. But I'm always tired. I think I only got like 4 hours of sleep today, so it makes sense. I don't want to do the eyes. The eyes I think I'm gonna save for the next stream. Let's start with the jack. Or actually, I think I might be able to do all the rendering on one layer. I'm gonna try that. Maybe that might be stupid. We'll see how it goes. And then I'm just gonna use my little chalk brush because I love chalk. Okay, so I think pretty clearly this one's gonna be one for where the light's coming from above. A more normal lighting scheme than the last one, where the light was coming from her chest. This one's just coming from above. They're just like looking at a camera. Just do it very roughly here. I'll block it out in a sec. Ooh. Let me also do multiply. Put this underneath. Do gradient. I'm gonna put this in its own layer, but pass through hey. Then I also want like an erase for this group, so then the hand doesn't really catch any of it. The hand has its own entire like, that's something. Oh, an erase on an erase, that's why it's not. I want the hand to kind of like avoid it, have its own lighting, and maybe we'll flesh it out later. There we go. So now we can mess with the gradient alone, a little bit more accurately. Just like a little bit. We don't need a super heavy one. We still want like the shoes and everything to show up. Then we can go back to blocking this in. Okay, let's try taking some of this out now. He's looking a little creepy right now, I'm gonna be honest. I think it's the dead eyes, because I don't have the, like, little highlights yet. So he will be creepy looking until then. Hopefully he'll look more calm. I don't want him to look creepy. That's not the yet. Maybe for the next one. I think one of the resident artist, who's a guy, someone, I'm not sure if they're a man or a woman, or non-binary, or I guess something else that I don't want to otherize them, but you know. Anyways, but yeah, they mentioned that they wanted me to try doing like maybe a color palette challenge, and I don't really know any challenge, but I'd be open to doing that. One that I'll really want to try, I think, if there isn't like a specific one for the challenge that he's thinking of, they're thinking of, is I like the kind of muted look of like early in the morning, late at night, where everything is kind of cast in this like grayish blue color. Something about like that, you know, foggy morning is just like really like beautiful and like melancholic to me. Like I just love the look of that color. That just like, you know, that like that grayish but like very blue color. Like so the darkest colors will be like navy, and then some of the lighter colors will be like this very faded like turquoise periwinkle color. And I just think it's very like, it's like sad, but like something about that reminds you of like, I don't know, like a nice Midwest emo band, which is probably the dumbest way I could have explained that, but like that very, like there's a potential in that feeling for some reason in my head. There's like something to that feeling. It's like right before like the sun really like breaks through the clouds. Everything's kind of like gloomy looking, but it's not like a gloomy like something wrong happened. It's like a gloomy like things are about to get started, and you know, like this is like the lonely hours where like maybe you have some time to like to yourself to breathe for a second. That's a lot of like what's the word, projection, but yeah, what are you gonna do? He looks very dead with these colors. We'll give him some more warmth as we go along. Yeah, we'll see what happens whenever I get to that palette challenge for the next one. I think we're gonna do another one just like this, where it's just like a very simple person, like face and figure. That way I just get some more practice with like my rendering and just getting like good shapes. I wonder if any of the words I say make any sense. to like non-artists or even artists for that matter. I feel like a lot of the words that I use are like words that I make up in my head or like sentences that like I make up in my head, and I don't know if they communicate as clearly as I'm intending them to, but I'm willing to find out. I think a lot of people have that fear where they if they're not like a very good public speaker, they're worried that if like any of their ideas are being communicated effectively, if they're like just rambling nonsense and everybody's just nodding their head. I have that a little bit, but I've got enough of that like anxiety stamped down where I could just like still output ideas. Like it doesn't like prevent me from doing art or anything. Or public speaking. Like whenever it came to like public speaking groups, I was one of the people that could take the role, even though I hate talking to people. Sorry, I don't hate talking to people. I love talking to people, but it's like that like dealing with that anxiety and like gathering up the strength to do it is what I hate. Like I hate like having to work, take a deep breath and work on it. Like it sucks, but I'm willing to do it. Like I'm not completely broken when it comes to that anxiety. It doesn't own me. Unless it comes with the, like starting a conversation. That's when like I'm really like biting like those little tongue depressing things. There's like a word for it, but like the little thing that you bite whenever somebody's about to do surgery or something. Just a second. I'm gonna look at a reference real quick just to see how I'm doing the nose. I got a very confusing thing with the nose going on, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it just right. I know that there's like a ridge where it slopes a little inwards and then it pushes back out, and that's usually what catches the most light. But I'm wondering how hard is that transition? Same with like the side of the nose, because obviously this part of the nose, the very like tip of the nose, gets all of the light. That's where it's mainly hitting. But I think because this is angled, the sides of the nose, like above each nostril, because those are like slanted upwards too, they would still catch a little bit of the light, just not as much. Yeah, I think I'm right on that. I think there's a very light hard line on it though. And that transition between like the nose bridge and then like the forehead, the brow ridge. That's tough. It looks like it's smoothed out for a lot of people. Like they don't bother with that brow ridge. It makes sense. Or it's like very slight, so that makes sense. Oh, wrong one. Make it eraser. And then whenever we get to like the lighting phase, so that's when we can like really get some highlights on the like tip of the nose. So Like it's so vague in every like drawing I'm seeing, how they do like that transition. Let me get these back onto the hair. Then give like shadows where the hair is being, where the hair would cast the shadow. Here. God, his eyes are freaking me out. I think because they're so huge and like so unshaded right now. Valorante kids game. Let me cover that up for now. We can worry about secondary lighting later. Okay. Now I think I can get lighting for the teeth in. See, once you start doing like individual teeth, like it starts to look really off. So I'm trying to like find the right balance. Like I think it looks fine on the bottom teeth. It's just like these top teeth that I'm getting like concerned about. I think that's fine. Doesn't need to be too cool. Just a second, I'm looking up references again. Sorry, I'm looking up more references. Always more references. A lot of them keep it like very what's the like CGI like version? Can't remember. Not CGI, sorry, like the little cartoon version, two-toned. There's a word. That type of shading where it's literally just two-tone. Can't remember. Oh my god. Like it's a very specific type of coloring that like a lot of artists do. Cell shading. Jeez, I could not figure out the word. Sorry, one second. I'm just looking at more references. Sorry, please don't judge. Try. All right, that's it. I'm going DeviantArt. Google's not giving me what I need. Go to some like ref. Kind of. I'm just wondering, how do people like people who realistically shade and aren't just like cell shading, how do they go about doing like the shadows for the lip? Maybe, I think maybe people don't shade the lip that harsh. It's also hard to tell because everybody puts like lipstick on, so. Trying to find one without like heavy, like lipstick, which might be my issue because I think even like men who don't put lipstick on will have like reddish lips. Which look kind of. Yeah, it looks like they don't put very much prominence on the lips, or it's just red, so like it has like an entirely different like rule book. Ooh, hold on. Let's try that. Not like that. Not liking that. Oh yeah, then obviously the chin. Okay, let's see if we can work from here. Now that I think about it, I probably should have cell shaded this. I think it would have worked a little better. But I didn't, and that's. I'm erasing everything I just worked on. It's so hard. It's so hard. Why can't I just do things the easy way? Maybe that's the issue. It's because all the references I'm using don't have aren't smiling. So like they have very pursed lips, and that's what's causing like these lights to be prominent on the sides of their face. Think. So I need to find somebody with like a big expression. I have 20,888 favorites on DeviantArt. I have an issue. He's probably a terrible person to use as an example, but we're gonna use. It's so hard to get. I don't understand. Why? Why does it look? Why is this so hard? No, 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 no. Nope. That's not what I wanted. Okay, bottom. Got that. Make the lips. What about this lighting around like the top lip? Where does this come? Maybe it's about like the balance. Oh. Nope, sorry. I'm breathing into the mic too heavy. Need to figure it out. I need to know. I need the answers. What about? F you Zoom, just work correctly, please. Something with just the right lighting. I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose. I should have just done cell shading. It would have been so much easier. I'm getting way too invested into one little aspect of the drawing. But I feel like this is just something I have to work out. Like I need to figure out why I'm having trouble with it, and then we can work our way from there. Maybe. Okay, yeah, I think this is what I'm looking for. First of all, I put in the secondary light on and forgetting my place. Focusing on something beside. Oh, okay, I think I'm starting to see it. Okay, so this starts from under the light of the upper lip. So there's a shadow from the upper lip. Okay, that makes sense. There's the light hitting the top lip. That obviously obvious. And I think it continues. Okay. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it now. So it's basically one consistent stroke of light here, from the one end to the other. Like this is all catching light, and then there's just that separation. Like there's just like a little bit of that separation from the like fatter part of the lip, the fattier part of the lip, well. And that's what causes like the separation between these two areas. Okay, we're almost there. And then I think it just transitions between the two. You can also make this a little rounder. Is it supposed to be that sharp? And I think we can just like soften this transition on the point. And that's what causes these little not necessarily the lip, but like the upper part of the jaw. Chin? No, jaw. Chin is like the tip of the jaw. Sorry, my legs. Okay, so I think that's what causes that sense of that part of the light. But for future projects, I think, or future sketches, I want to think. My brain no think. I want to do more cell shading, where it's just like the shadow part and then the non-shadow part. That's all I want to focus on from in the, because that's, I think that also slows me down, where like even I literally plan to do cell shaded pictures and then stop immediately, because I think some areas I like doing like a realistic area amount of shading, and then some areas I don't, and I think that's causing things to get mixed up. And I think I could do like a mix of the two, but like my brain is just like, no, I have to do everything consistently. Anyways, so, and then I think either way, like I think I want this to be like a little softer. Anyways, a little bit less prominent. Oop, big. Nope. Oh, for God's sake. Trying to find the picture that I was just using as a reference, but it keeps like snapping me back to the top of the screen. I know which one, I just gotta find it. There it is. Okay. Oh, hold on. I remember what I was looking for. Okay. They don't do like the little glare underneath the nose. I'm gonna keep mine though. No, well, hold on. What does it look like with that? Maybe like that. I think I like that. All right, and then let's hit the ear. I don't know what I just said out of my mouth. I said the head. I'm gonna shake that all in, and then maybe bring out like the collarbone a bit, the edge of the neck, side, a little bit on the chest. Try to make this transition a little better. My back. Like adding volume to like each chunk of hair now. This is the part that I actually do like. Hair is very fun. And unlike faces, they're not like very specific on which sections get light and which ones don't. Like with the face, like what I was thinking of was like the chin catches light, the lip catches light, the nose catches light, obviously the cheek carry light. Is that what this part is called? Or the cheeks more of the sides here? I don't know. I'm gonna call them cheeks. Then like the glints of the upper eyelids, the forehead catches light. Although thankfully he has bangs, so it doesn't catch as much. Not the reason I added that made his hair have bangs. It's just I like the way that bangs look. I like the, you saw it before, like I had it as like it's sketched out for his hair to be more of like a middle part, kind of reminds me of just like a lot of K-pop artists. But then I decided, you know what, the crazier anime hair is just more fun. It just feels right for the kind of character I wanted. I think originally when I sketched him out, like there was the one that I showed you guys, which was like the sketch that I had in my done just before I started it at a coffee shop. Sometimes I sketch out ideas at a coffee shop. And then the original was like a 5-second scribble I did on a notepad, and it kind of like stuck in the back of my head. Notepad on my iPhone, and that was a little bit more sinister. It had like a spirit like actually coming out of him, which is why the piece is called Spirit. Is that it was like he actually had like ghost powers, like Danny Phantom, like that. Which might explain why I made his hair white. I think that's more of a general thing though. Like a lot of characters that have like anything to do with like the life or the undead or maybe like losing their memories, like my immediate thought is like make their hair white, because it makes them kind of like a blank slate, makes them look supernatural. Just very fun. I think it comes from D-Gray, man. It was a very early anime that I watched in my youth. And I was like, wow, an anime character with white hair. That's awesome. Trying to think if there's anybody else, because I remember Bleach and Dragon Ball were also Naruto and Dragon Ball were the two anime that I were heavily inspired from, and maybe some visuals that I caught off of like an episode or two of Bleach, although not much because I was never that into Bleach. I think maybe the the hollows. I think I really like the way that hollowed characters look. And it's very like, you know, very edgy, like and angsty, like the, you know, like I have a dark half inside of me, I have to fight back, like that aspect to it. And Naruto has that with the Nine Tails, and then the hollows are like I might not know anything about Bleach, but what I'm guessing is like it's kind of like a negative aspect to every character that they have, and some the characters can control it, some characters can't. But yeah. Lots of those aspects of, are stuff that I love to play with, like dark reflections of characters, where it's like the same character but like a dark version, almost like a Dark Link and that kind of stuff. Like that is very, very fun to me. I love those ideas. Who has white hair in Naruto? Jiraiya, although he is just old. No, he has white hair when he's young too, I think. Yeah, he just always has white hair. I don't know why. I know his like makeup is kind of like supposed to look like kabuki theater art. So it probably I know his like the shape of his hair, the fact that he has makeup has to do with that. I'm not sure why he has white hair specifically though. Why he was seemingly born with white hair. Who else has white? Trunks was probably like one that actually might have done it for me. I don't think it actually, now that I think about it, it might maybe subconscious, but like when I think about like my influences, I don't think Trunks had that much to do with it. Because like the idea of like a person being special with their hair comes more from like Super Saiyans, and they had like yellow hair. They didn't have white hair, and I think that's what might be mixing me up. Because even Trunks, when he went Super Saiyan, his hair was yellow too. The Gray Man, I remember being very specific, where the character had like white hair, and I think that was like a plot, not maybe not a plot point, but it was something that was like that's like noticed by characters, where they bring up like the silver haired blah blah blah. And I can't remember what is an anime that like really like sold that like white hair being an aspect of like a character's power. I know Tokyo Ghoul does it, where Kaneki like it's not necessarily connected to his powers, but he does lose like his sanity, like his hair grows white from like stress. And it also just like coincides with him like kind of snapping into like a very powerful version of himself. So it's almost like the hair has like something to do with his powers, but not necessarily. Who else has white hair? Kakashi. I don't know how I never thought about that. That didn't like come up first. Kakashi has white hair. Again, just seemingly no reason other than he was born with white hair. Who else? Why do I associate white hair with having powers or supernatural powers? I don't know if that many shows that do it. Like there are characters that like have white hair, but it's usually completely disconnected, or it's like something else that's like adjacent to like their powers. Like it's never really one to one where it's like as soon as they reach their super powered form, their hair goes white, kind of like Super Saiyan. It's, you know, the opposite. Like they have like dark hair that goes blonde, not opposite. You know, I think Dante from Devil May Cry. I did watch an anime pretty early. They have like an anime for the third game, and that one I watched pretty early on in my like development. And he is like very directly connected with like Supernatural. Like he's like a detective, or he has like some kind of agency. I don't know if it's like the detective agency, the Devil May Cry agency. I think he's more like a bounty hunter or something. One second, I want to actually look that up. What does Devil May Cry do? Oh my god. I don't care about the architecture. What does it do? Okay, yes. Do they ever say what in the world the Devil May Cry store does? They just say it's a store. No, they don't. That makes me mad. Like, what? How do they not say what kind of store it is? It's just a shop. Do they sell things? Oh my! Like if it was like a bounty hunting shop, it makes sense. But like, what does it do? Oh yeah, here's somebody asking exactly what it is on a Reddit post. What is the Devil May Cry shop? It's a demon slaying business, basically pest control. I mean, that's what I'm assuming, but for some reason, it doesn't just say that in the wiki. It reminds me of this is probably like the most like unhinged like thing, just like distant idea that I could connect to. But in the 40-year-old virgin, there's a scene that sticks with me where the main love interest, it has like an eBay store, but it's just a front and they don't actually sell anything in the store, and it's like a bit like where like people keep like coming up to her and asking like, hey, how much is this? And she said like, oh no, it's not for sale, like I just have stuff here. And it's like, but you have like a sign. It's like, yeah, it's a, yeah, I don't know if there was a reason for it, but I think it's the same thing. I'm getting off topic like so bad. But yeah, Devil May Cry was a huge influence early on, like very early on. I think before it was even really an anime, I was into Devil May Cry, because like I was into gaming, like, you know, obviously like, I don't know, 5 years old, 7 years old. Like I've always been into gaming. I wanted to be a video game maker before I wanted to be an artist. Video game maker was also the word that I used. I think in like middle school, I was like, that doesn't sound like the right kind of word for that job. And then I had to do like a whole bunch of research, and that's when I decided like, oh, maybe I don't want to do video gaming design, because that sounds like a lot of computers. That is terrifying. I was just playing around with that. Just want to see what it would do. Let me think. Is there anything else? connect to it. I remember in DMC, the Devil May Cry that no one likes to talk about but me. They did have a cool idea where he had like a dark hair, and then like whenever he would like tap into his like devil abilities, he would have his hair would turn to the like, you know, bright white that everybody knows. I know nobody likes the game. That's fine. I get it. The reception, you know, like the lead designer, like his attitude about it, like I get it. There was a lot wrong with DMC, but I'm just saying there were some cool ideas. The visuals I thought were very cool. I like the design. Maybe not everybody liked the stupid humor, but I like the stupid humor. Or like I wasn't offended by the dumbed down humor. It's not like Devil May Cry was like the pinnacle of like intelligent comedy at all either. Like it was always like a very silly game with like silly jokes and silly insults. But I will admit that this that DMC had like more of like an American crudeness to it, which was maybe not what people, or well, not maybe, it's definitely not what people wanted. The game did not do well. Trying to think of other like very early anime that influenced me. Soul Eater was another pretty early one, but there's nobody with special hair or anything like that. There's plenty of crazy hair in Soul Eater, but nothing like people with like special. I think maybe Medusa, did she have something with hair? Her hair? I know she had like the little like snake things, but I think those were shadows. They weren't like her hair. Which is kind of confusing since her name was Medusa, but it worked. I also remember that a lot of people didn't like the ending, which can always confuse me because I actually really like the ending. Because like it was very just much like a, like they finished the main, they killed off like the main antagonist, which is like obviously, you know, like they didn't leave it like a what is it? The thing whenever like they stop like a show or a season at like a certain point where like all the tension is high and like you have to watch like the next one. What is it called? Cliffhanger. Yeah, they didn't leave like the show off on a cliffhanger. Like they literally like showed what all the characters were doing afterwards, all the side characters. And like an ends credit scene. I think maybe the romance wasn't very explicit, like whether or not the two main characters had a romantic thing. I don't think they did. I didn't need to find that out personally. I don't know if that's what people had an issue with. Maybe it being like a, you know, just a couple little end credit scenes where it just shows all the characters being happy together. I don't know. I like that. I like seeing the characters being happy together. And maybe it has to do with like the manga that it's based off of. Maybe that has to do with why people were upset, where it's like the manga goes on to do a bunch more things, but the anime just ended at like one big plot point. But again, like I think like Soul Eater is like 50 episodes, so I'm not too upset about getting 50 episodes out of a series. Kind of like Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Full Metal Alchemist. Although Full Metal Alchemist is a bit different because like there was like a lot more and like what was significantly better. And it specifically had to deviate so far from the source material. That's kind of where the issue lied, where it had like completely made up its own ending. But even the ending for like regular Full Metal Alchemist is actually pretty dope. Like it has a pretty awesome ending. Like it's definitely not as good as the you know, Brotherhood. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows this. We all agree that. But like it's also kind of cool. Like they like the magic is linked to another parallel universe and linked to the death in another universe where like war is going on, and then like the brothers get swapped and like have to relearn their magic and still like want to find each other so they can be together again. Like that, it was weird, it was crazy, but it was kind of dope. It was kind of cool. Conceptually, it was like, what is even happening? This is awesome. That's why I think it's worth watching both Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood if you like the series enough, because it's like really interesting how those two differentiate. I was talking about Soul Eater. I've never watched Soul Eater not though. Like I said, like I was very pleased with the ending of Soul Eater, so like I didn't necessarily need more Soul Eater as much as I loved it. Yeah, that was one of those early anime that like had a lot of influence on me. I think even now, like it's having more influence on me because I'm kind of remembering like this is like the style of anime that I'm really into. Like this very silly, you know, very artistically unique. Like, you know, like the moon is like a cackling smile that like is alive, and it doesn't really have any plot relevance, at least as far as like the anime. Like it's just a silly stylistic thing. The devil, oh, sorry, not the devil. The Grim Reaper is like the main teacher, and he's like an old goofy man. That like during serious moments can get very serious, but most of the time it's just very goofy. There's like Frankenstein. I don't remember if his name is Frankenstein, or just Frank. I don't remember what his name was in Soul Eater, but he was kind of like the Kakashi of Soul Eater, where he's like very laid back, very cool, but he's also like very strong and powerful whenever like things need to be done. Soul Eater, I love. I used to watch the AMV, the This Is Halloween Soul Eater thing for like so many times. I watched it like 1,000 times when I was young. Because the way that the city's designed is very like Halloween town-ish. Like everything just feels like it's made during Halloween and like is always in Halloween. I keep forgetting the light. Let me go ahead and mark down the lighting just so I don't forget. Maybe it'll help me keep track. Ooh, sorry. I don't know if this makes any sense, but I'm trying to make it into like a 3D object. That way I know that it's like in front of him too. Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. This is the hand. Okay. Okay. Now I'm back. Oh god. Probably gonna have to stop like directly at 9:30. Maybe even later. This stream is a bit of a mess because like I'm tired. Hang on a second. Okay, so yeah. Oh. Do I still have the general chat one? Yeah. Okay. And then I just remember that there was that thing. I'm back on Soul Eater again. What was his name? I know there was I don't want to say Baka. That's not her name. Once. Maka. Oh well, yeah. Okay, I thought it's that easy. Is his name Soul Eater Evans? Frankenstein. Frankenstein. Why is his name Soul? Did he ever explain why his name is Soul? Okay, sorry, I'm not looking up Soul Eater anymore. Yeah, his name is Soul Evans. That is weird. Like, just gave him a normal last name. It's like a character in One Piece being named, "Hi, I'm Mr. One Piece." Nice to meet you. Hi, it's me, Dragon Ball. I'm here to hunt down the Dragon Balls, but my name is also Dragon Ball. My last name? Oh, my last name is Peters. My name is Dragon Ball Peter. It's just weird. It's not right. It's not godly. Can't do that. Can't just have the normal last name. And then part of your name is also like the name of the anime. Like it just doesn't make any sense. Oh, the reason I brought it up was like another cool thing that I remember just thinking was really unique was Soul having like this mind palace basically, where like he has like his own like world that he like exists in, where he talks to like his like, I don't know if it's his dark self, like some kind of like connection to his like powers. There's like a little devil in there that he talks to, and then it being like jazz themed. Like there's like all this like really weird, unique stuff. Like, and I'm pretty sure it's like inspired by like Twin Peaks too, because like if it gives like Twin Peaks vibes. The little guy that dances in like this place that only exists within his mind. Everything being red. The weird jazz. It's very weird and unique. It's just such. Baccano was another one that also influenced me on. Gankatsuo, the kind of Monte Cristo. That was another one where I got very into it very early on. I think those are most of the ones that like really like hit me when I was like very early into anime. There's like a couple other ones that I watched. I remember watching Seven Samurai. I watched Eureka 7. Is that one Air Gear? There's also the like wife fighting one. I remember watching that. Like the guy that had like multiple wives and they would fight each other. Or they would fight like other people's wives. What is that stupid anime? Sekirei? I want to say Seki. I'm good at this. Hold on. I'm good at guessing. There it is. God, I'm a genius for remembering stupid anime. That was a dumb one. Like that was before I knew like the harem anime tropes and everything. So like all that was fresh to me. Baccano is also like straight up like my favorite anime. I think maybe Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is just like right behind it. But Baccano is just like, there's a ton of characters, ton of crazy designs. It's like 6 different like styles of plot are tied in together. There's like immortals, there's a mafioso, there's like I don't want to say evil kids because I think that's also tied to the immortality thing. There's like gangs, regular like street gangs. Maybe that's also just mafioso, but you know, maybe there's kind of alchemy, more just again just tied into the immortality stuff, but like obviously all of it eventually links together. It's not just like 6 different elements that have like no place being with each other. Like it's so crazy. And then like also like the offbeat storytelling, all those characters having their own like individual plots, and then just watching like all these seemingly nonsense plots with no connections, no rhyme or reason, just watching just little by little, piece by piece get placed together. Then they get closer, and then by the end of the story, everything's so deeply weaved together into like this really great story, with like so like the villain, the person that you think is a villain, like switches over where it's like, oh, it's this guy. No, it's actually this guy. But it's like, wait a second, this guy's actually kind of the hero, and like he's actually like macking on the other girl that was like kind of evil, but then like also kind of turns out to be a good person. It's like the amount of times that you're like things change and move. It is a little disorienting. I do know people who did not enjoy Bacchanal. Like I can specifically, like, if you say like, oh, there's just too many characters and too many things going on, like I get it. Like that's definitely not like how you normally do things, and some people prefer things to be very like I don't want to say simple because like that sounds like I'm dissing that kind of storytelling. But I think personally, like, I really enjoy stories where like there's a lot of moving pieces, a lot of different characters. That way, like, you have like a lot of opportunities to like really tell different styles of story, and then having it all like work together in the end. Like that's the goal. Like usually you can have like stories where there's a whole bunch of different plots, a whole bunch of different like styles of story, but like being able to weave it together like really well, that's what really makes it like memorable and like changing, like life changing for me. Life changing is a bit extreme, but it is like straight up like my favorite anime. Like, you know, like I'm gonna you do just like a random example out of my head. Fallout, which is one of my favorite like video game series, is a similar thing where it's like you have mystery, so you have like aliens, you have horror elements, you have sci-fi. Like there are so many different elements that are weaved together. I already said crime is post-apocalyptic, which is not necessarily sci-fi. Like, you know, like there's raiders, there's I don't want to say that word, but you know, Paradise Falls, if that pulls up what I'm talking about. Then there's like goofy things, there's like Camp Little Hope, the one with all the kids. Then if you get New Vegas, there's like the boomers, who are literally boomers. Like, come on, like it's so, there's so many things you can do in that, and like they all like fit in the same world. Like they work. At least to me, they work. I have heard some people don't really like that Fallout has anything to do with aliens, which I like it because, you know, like I think it works with the, you know, like the pseudo 1970s and 60s 70s Fallout is more like 1940s through 60s at the latest. Like they have like a few songs that appear from that were made in the 60s, but most of it's in the 40s to 50s. Although again, it's like 2270 or something like that in the Fallout lore technically. And I think that's why I was always into Fallout more than like a Skyrim, because Skyrim has some cross genre. Like I think there's some Lovecraftian elements, mostly in like the Daedra, but those are like very light, like especially not in like Oblivion or Skyrim. Or, you know, maybe they're there and I just like never really been able to like hitch onto it. I've only found out about that like in like further lore videos, when they like explain like some of the Daedra princes being basically inspired by Lovecraft. That's the only, like I said, there's horror in Fallout. Lovecraft also makes its way into the Fallout games. Like there's just so many elements and Fallout that fit together in a way that I like. Like I think it works great. I like it. It's good. You have to agree with me, or else I hurt you. Then let's see, what was the other? Gankatsu is the other one that like really like hit me hard as a kid. I mean, like Gankatsu was 16, 15, somewhere around there. How are we doing on rendering? We're not doing too bad. The light hit. Nah, it'd be very shadow. Maybe like the knee. then it just transitions into the shadow. Gankatsu is a really crazy one. Mainly like the visuals, like because I think everybody who knows it will tell you like it has some crazy things going. It has the Chowder thing, if anybody remembers Chowder, where everybody has like a texture, but the textures don't move, the characters do. So like as they move, it's this like really disorienting thing. It's really trippy, it's really crazy. Everything is like super multicolored and like distracting as far as like the clothes they wear. But aside from that, the anime is, well, it's the Count of Monte Cristo is one of the like all-time greatest stories. So obviously an anime adaptation with like a unique art style that I don't think I've ever seen in any other anime. Because Baccano has great art and like fun character designs, but Gankatsuo is like visually truly unique. Like there is not a single anime that I think has ever looked like a Gankatsuo. Which is probably why like it still like sticks with me today. And that's another one where it's like there's crazy stuff going on, and like it just works because like it's an anime. Like some anime just know that you can get away with really unique things that like keep you connected, or like, you know, really pull you towards the story. You know, like they really get you involved in. I think a lot of my art style like originally was heavily inspired by that, but I think I lost a lot of trying to like learn a lot of the fundamentals, and I'm hoping to like start to slowly piece that together, just like slowly get back to that point where I was doing like crazy stuff with my art that was like inspired by like all the wacky stuff that I would see done in like anime shows or like semi-obscure anime. It's definitely too early to do this, but I'm gonna go and do it. Good one. Ooh. That's supposed to be an erase? I forgot color 8 for the eye. Go with you. Maybe he'll eventually turn less creepy. Do I still have his blush? I do. There we go. Give him a little bit more warmth. That way he doesn't look so dead. Okay. Where today? I think we still gotta fix a lot of the jacket. This layer must be crazy. Oh. Not in the right color. Starting to realize that this camera or this like lighting guide that I'm using actually isn't that accurate. Light is a little bit more this. It's just a slight change. Almost like half of my stream is just me stretching. And then rambling about anime that I watch. Like most of these are like 10, like I don't know, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And it's so hard. Like every little this season there's like 7 anime that everybody talks about. It's so hard. I mean, I'm not that interested in like keeping up with anime that everybody talks about anyway. It's like even back when I was watching anime regularly, it was very rare for me to like actually want to watch a series that people were talking about. I think like small exceptions like Attack on Titan, I think that was one where like I was into the hype. And I think that was well warranted. Like it's Attack on Titan. I did watch a bit of One Punch Man. I didn't like it like at all. Like I didn't hate it, and the animation was gorgeous, but like as far as like the premise and the plot, it was not that interesting to me. It was like I mean nothing wrong with it. Like it's literally just like taste thing. Like some people like that show, some people don't, but it was very much just like, you know, it's just a show about a guy who can kill things in one punch. And like how far could we take that joke? I'm sure like in later episodes they eventually move on to like other things and world building. I know that that's the case. I've seen it, but I just, you know, like especially like episode 7, 6, Like I remember people talking about like the bike guy, and I was like, oh, like I see him, and I don't care about him. Like, why are people obsessed with this character? And like by like episode 8, I was like, no, I don't care. Like I'm just gonna drop it. Like I'm not interested in seeing why people like this character. I'm not interested in like the stakes of any of the characters. It's just whatever. And maybe it's just an issue of it not getting to the more interesting part. Mob Psycho, on the other hand, is actually something that I'm interested in, because I think it from what I've heard, does a much better job of being like, it's not necessarily like based on like a one joke premise like One Punch Man. I mean, unless you consider like him having the power to like level up to or like charge his power up to 100. If that's like a one joke premise to you, then I guess you can get it the same. It's more of just like an ability, but it has like it doesn't really say anything about the story. I mean, One Punch Man literally describes the story. It's a man who punches things and kills them in one punch. But Mob Psycho 100, that doesn't really describe like the story premise at all, other than even saying like 100. Like, even though I know that that's his ability, like he can charge himself to like 100% power, just saying 100% does not describe like the premise of the anime. At least I don't think so. And that's another one where the animation just looks really great. Animation always helps. I'm definitely a visuals person. I'm not only a visual person though. I've noticed that like I don't really like Fate that much. I think I watched like, Fate Stay Night and then Fate whatever the first one is. Or, whichever one is like the prequel, Fate Stay Night. Okay, I've watched 2 of the Fate series, the earlier ones, is what I'm trying to say, but it's hard because there's so many Fates. And those were pretty good. But I think there's like 7 or 8 of them. And I'm not that interested in continuing to watch fight, even if they're like really good looking. Like, I've seen the fights, they're very intense, but like the premise gets very old. It's literally just the same premise, and it's just like, how many characters can we get into that one premise? How many times can we repeat the tournament and then like change rules and this and that? It's whatever. I think it's because like I've seen a lot of like compilations of like the Sakuga, like the well animated parts, and just seeing like fight after fight after fight after fight, and my brain is just like, this is meaningless. It's just like one super cool explosion after the other. Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to enjoy this. And that turned off like a lot of the hype around it for me, like the like desire to watch more Fate. It was already just like very confusing because like I don't know, like a lot of the plot doesn't like make a ton of sense to me. There wasn't that much to get attached to as far as the characters. There were a few characters who would definitely stand out, especially in like Stay Night, but some of them were very much just background characters. It's like an elimination thing, so like obviously some of those characters that get eliminated aren't going to be like super people that you get very invested into, unless you just like particularly love the design of the character. But that's just me. That's just how I feel about Fate. I just realized like the way that the light would hit this, it'd catch a lot of light on his arm over here. I guess Cowboy Bebop is one of those that like were super hyped, and that I actually like 100% like agree to. Where I was like, oh yeah, like that was a good one. Like that was a good one to just like hype people over. But that's a little different. Like getting into the classics, I can do that a lot. I'm very into like getting into like the classic animes that everybody recommends. One Piece was one that I never got into. Bleach, I never got into either, but like I had a lot of respect for Bleach because like visually and like theme wise, like a lot of Bleach appeals to me. But I think like the amount of filler and like I had very little ability to just like jump into it, especially like when I was like first getting into anime. I couldn't like it was like I can deal with one super long shonen, which was Naruto, and I'm still very happy with what I chose. Naruto was I love Naruto. But like One Piece, yeah, you can take that home. First of all, the visuals are atrocious, and sure, some scenes later on get very good. I've seen good panels from One Piece, but I've seen a lot of just war crimes. It's not that terrible. I'm definitely exaggerating. I think this is like the second or third time I've ranted about how much I don't like One Piece, or how much I like to pretend that I hate One Piece is a more accurate way to say it. Yeah, that's that. I think maybe more like here. I think like the light would be caught by the jacket just here, maybe over here too. But it'd be very sharp, where like there's a very like strong like a very sharp line where the shadow starts and the light starts. Because it's like a very shallow angle that it's catching the light. This one's really hard to see. Oh, turn up the... There we go. He doesn't look menacing at all. He looks very relatable and kind. Nothing but good thoughts in this man's head. I don't know why he's so like intimidating right now. I think it's... I know it's a smile. Because I remember when I was drawing the smile, I was having trouble figuring out what would like a nice non-forced smile look like. Then I was like, you know what? I'm just kind of okay with him having kind of a creepy smile. But like it's a very fine line where it's like, okay, but if the eyes say creepy, if the mouth says creepy, and the lighting says creepy, then he's just gonna look creepy. Like if everything's balanced in one direction, like you're not gonna be able to work away. You're not gonna be able to get away from it. So like I'll have to make sure that the shadow isn't so strong that he can only look like a demonic child with like nothing but the most putrid of intents. Like this is not a nice looking person. This is a guy who's like thinking about like how much fun he's gonna have like skinning you alive, which is not the intention. Very much not the intention. All right, so let's see if I can get this hand. Is there any way to just get the hand? Do I have that like on a different layer? No, I'm gonna have to like make a selection. Oops, sorry. That was really bad. Nope, nope. Oh, I messed it up. We're gonna start again. What is going on? Grab. Trying to use the pan function, but for some reason it just wasn't working. Okay. So let's try just shading this area. I think I'm gonna do the light as if the light is coming from in front of the hand, but we'll see how that looks. If that works with the lighting at all. First, I'm just gonna like drown it in the shadow color. Just drown it in shadow. Make it like 30%. Because it's on flesh. The reason why I brought the darkness so high on the other one is because the pants, the shadows aren't really showing up very well, which I might have to fix eventually. But on the hand, it shows up just fine. Okay, and then let's see. Try to work in the lighting. There we go. All right. I'm gonna, let's see what else before I call it. I'm just gonna call it there. Let me, if my thumbnail. Okay. So I think for this, we're gonna turn off the guide. That's not what I wanted. We're gonna turn off the guide. I'm gonna put back on the blush. Turn off the palette. But then add the smoke. There we go. I think that's where we're gonna leave today. Okay. So now all I need to do is I'm pretty much done with the rendering actually. So mainly just work on the lights, the background, maybe adding the smoke effect, as well as like final touch. So I think maybe the lighting and most of the smoke can be done in one stream, and then maybe a second one for just like final touches. I think I can do it in just the planned 5 streams if they're long streams. Maybe even just one more stream if I really push it, but we'll have to see. Otherwise, I'm pretty happy with where we're at right now. I do think I can't tell if it was slow because I wasn't focused enough or because I'm sleepy, or if this was just a moment where like it just needed to take a lot of time. Rendering is like the longest part. Like line art is nothing compared to like the amount of time that it takes to, you know, really solidify a shape, and you know, like really try to get all the forms blended out really well. Like you saw that I struggled a lot with the nose, the lips. I think that took a lot of time, but you know, this is practice. You know, like this is how you get those areas. Like I think eventually I figured it out. But yeah, I think we're gonna have to do just one more stream, 2 more streams, because now that I think about it, there are some areas where I'm gonna have to go back in and add a little bit more color variety. Like, you know, I got to do the lips. I got to add some more blush to the nose. I have to do the blush correctly because this is a very quick, rough blush. So yeah, all that's gonna have to be done. But we're getting step by step closer to getting finished. Background's probably just gonna be some random mess texture. Then yeah, I'm gonna add some highlights. Probably also sticking within the palette. Probably just like a random shade, the random light shade. Hold on a second. Smoke. Where's smoke? You got this out. So where's smoke? There we go. Probably like this orange or yellow as like a backlight, just to add a little bit more spice to the image. That's a very goofy way of saying it, but that is what I'm going to be doing. Like I'm just going to be adding it for the sake of, you know, spice. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Let me turn back on the smoke. We turn off the palette, and that's where we're gonna leave. Very happy with like the new texture on the jacket. Like that is good, and obviously it's like a mix of 3 different brushes, so that's kind of like just how it goes. Oh, surprised I even got like that one custom brush that I just like tweaked 3 settings on it, and like immediately became what I wanted it to be. Like I was really happy that turned out as well as it did. The like to get like these little lines, but also felt very uniform, and I can manipulate. Just like one better would have been like making it on a separate layer, so I can also like, you know, manipulate it to go along with the cloth, like getting smaller when it needed to, getting bigger when it needed to. But again, I'm happy with what we got right now. I think it looks very good. I'm pleased with this lag. I just want to play with one last. This is just for fun. Oh Jesus, that's terrifying. Nope. Burn it, raise. That's just wild. That's just wacky. Linear burn. Multiply. Multiply is the most consistent. I'm trying to wonder, like, I want one where it keeps like a lot of the color, but it doesn't like burn. Like it doesn't like have like a bunch of like hatchiness or anything. Hardlight kind of is what I'm looking for, I think. I don't know, I like that. Hardlight versus multiply. Yeah, it is what it is. I'll probably just color the line art as like a very final touch. Probably if we go to 2 streams, that's probably going to be a step. But anyways, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you for catching the stream, even if you were only here for a few seconds, or if you're catching the archive that will go up on YouTube in just a couple minutes, maybe a little longer. I'll probably be a little lazy on the video editing tonight. Yeah, make sure to keep an eye out on that, on the full stream archive. So let me go ahead and shout out my Instagram. My Instagram is where I keep all of my stuff the most up to date. So if you want to see what I'm working on, if you want to see maybe some stuff about going on with my life, I'll be posting on there. I'd appreciate any like follow, likes, just any of those like little number things that instantly give you that serotonin, and then like make you criticize yourself heavily whenever you don't get that serotonin. Social media. Go ahead and check out my DeviantArt if you want to see some of my older stuff, or maybe some extra stuff that I don't necessarily think needs to be posted to my Instagram. I've had that account since like 2013 or something like that, so lots of old stuff. 2013, 2014, somewhere around there. Check out my YouTube channels. I was about to say Instagram again. Check out my YouTube channels. So I have the full stream archive, which I mentioned earlier, just straight uploads of my 2, 3, 4 hour streams. But also my time-lapse channel, where I edit down my streams into 5-minute chunks. That way, if you don't have like enough time to watch my entire stream, you could still keep up with the progress week to week, in much more like digestible block. And then whenever a piece is finished, I love to do supercuts, which are all of the time lapses combined together into maybe 10 to 15-minute video. Those are very fun because you can see the very first few lines on a piece all the way to the last little bit of the touches in color. Like, those are very fun to do. I love seeing my supercuts come together. So yeah, keep an eye out on those. Take a peek at the commission sheet down below. I am working on the pricing, so those are going to be subject to change soon. I'm thinking of maybe just like lowering the cap. I mean, I think that might be all I need to do, because the lowest cap is like $20 for like a black and white headshot. But I don't know, because like what I'm also like getting paranoid about is like, if I change it and nothing changes again, like nothing happens again, like how low am I going to be going before like I realize, hey, maybe people just aren't seeing it, and that's the issue. It's not that people aren't okay with the pricing. It's more that I don't push my art out there because I'm not like a business person. Like, I don't like forcing people to watch me, forcing people to listen to me. You know, it is what it is. I mean, like, I've talked to people who are like that, and they're like, you know, you got to be building a website, you got to be talking to people, you got to be setting up a what's the word, whenever you get like another streamer on with you, you got to be showing up on other people's streams, you got to be you know, doing commissions on like other people's work that they don't ask for. But it's just like, I just want to do my art and have fun with my streams. Is that so much to ask? But yeah, sorry, that was a little much. Check out my commission sheet down below. The rates are subject to change, so maybe just shoot me an email if you're not sure what price it would be, and I don't mind talking to you, seeing what we can do. But yeah, I'd really love to work on your characters, anything from like Dungeons and Dragons, Vampire the Masquerade, any kind of role-playing game, or if you just wanted me to draw a character from like an anime you like or a comic book that you like, I would love to do that as well. I'm always open for commissions. Oh, sorry. Well, I mean, check my Instagram. I will update that, but as of right now, I am not super busy with commission. I have like one that I need to get on, but sometimes if you give me too much of a little timeline, I'm going to abuse it. Just tell me, you know, like that I'm not going to make you pay until I'm finished. Maybe at worst, I'm going to ask for half of it, but I need that like goal of like getting money at the end in order to like make me finish sometimes. It is what it is. And then the very last thing, very last thing, check out the donation link down below. If you don't feel like ordering a commission, you just want to, you know, maybe throw a few pennies at me, I'll take pennies. And that would help me feel a little bit more drive to spend more time on here, maybe give me some more money to improve my stream. But yeah, I'd appreciate anything that you'd be able to donate, commission, or just checking out any of my other channels. I'm here every Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. I'll be here next Tuesday. I don't think I have anything coming up. Let me double check that while I have a second. Yep, I'm completely free. I don't think I have anything until, I think Valentine's Day I'll be busy. Not for any cool reason. I just have a dentist appointment that I might completely screw my sleep up on. So I might just be completely asleep that day. Which is honestly kind of the best that you can do. If you're single, the best you could probably do on Valentine's Day is just not even be conscious. That's needlessly depressing and just a joke. I mean, it's just another day for us single people. I'm almost... Okay, let's leave that there. Better screen. So yeah, we're gonna be working on lighting. I'm gonna be doing final touches. Maybe 1 or 2 more streams. And then depending on if the resident artist, if he's available, we can maybe do a little bit of a challenge. Like I said, I wanted to maybe do something with more of a moody, early in the morning color, like blues, grays, maybe just like a soft like amber, like a really dark brown with just like tiniest little bit of green and yellow. That was too specific again. I'm trying to sign off. Anyways, that's gonna be it. Now I think I'm done. Hope you guys have a good night. Again, I appreciate anybody spending time with me. Good night. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Adios.